On Monday, Democrat supporter Keith Boykin called into question the blackness of a black Republican, a Trump supporter, who was on CNN. And he basically called into question whether or not a Trump supporter, whether a Republican, is really black. Whether they're really black. And of course, it's important to remember that the party of racism in the United States is unquestionably the Republicans. You know, the Republicans are definitely the party of racism, and the Democrats are definitely the party of treating people based on the content of their character and not the color of their skin.
That President Trump has not done enough, and I'm ashamed that you, as an African-American, Paris, will not say that.
Well, Keith, I don't need you to try to pull my black card. I am well aware of my blackness and don't need you to try to classify me as being one. I understand what racism is. Keith, don't go there. Do not go there. I know what it means to be a black man in this country. I know, and I experience racism on a regular basis by being a Trump supporter and by being a proud American who happens to be a Republican. I get racist
so that's the racism
Keith,
you experience by being a Trump supporter?
I get racist comments about my family, about my mother, about my girlfriend, about my character. Every single day mostly coming from black people, Keith, if you really want to get down to it. My family's from Georgia. Keith, let me finish. My family's from Georgia. We have members of our family that went missing because of the KKK taking them up. So don't come to me and tell me about what it means to be a black person in this country. I fought every day in the George W. Bush White House. Yes, Keith, let me finish.
Calm down and answer the question.
No. I won't calm down because I will not be attacked by you about my blackness because I happen to be a Republican and I listen to our president.
Paris, you've really gone off the rails here.
I am going off the rails here because you have no grounds and no respect to attack somebody like this.
You're obviously very sensitive and defensive about this issue, Paris, because you have your own issues and demons to resolve.
Get your guests under control.
Paris, just do me a favor. Just please
get them under control because I will not come on the show and be disrespected and have my office.
You can disrespect African Americans every day when you come on the show.
Hang on, please.
And you don't represent them at all. You don't represent the 8% of the that voted for this
president. You're the spokesperson.
I'm not their spokesperson. I happen to be a black person who agrees with this president, and I'm proud that he stood up there and said what he said, denouncing the Klan, denouncing David Booth like he did in March, and denouncing the hatred, bigotry, and violence.
It took him 2 days
wasn't forced to do it. He was not forced to do
it. Take that conversation, have it off camera. I really would like to have a substantive conversation about.
Yeah, well, he better watch how he talks about me too.
I understand. And
Paris, shut up, please, for God's sake. Why are you doing this?
So you're gonna let him call me to tell me to shut up?
No,
when Kenny Kitchener did that to Simone Sanders, there was a meltdown. Don't tell me to shut up on the show. This is preposterous, and you know it.
Now let's just go over this for a minute. Of course, now the subject they were talking about was the Charlottesville protest and the racial tensions that it exemplified. And Boykin, the Democrat, said that I'm ashamed that you, as an African American, Paris, will not say that President Trump has not done enough, basically. And Dennard responded by saying, Keith, I don't need you to try and pull my black card. I'm well aware of my blackness and don't need you to try and classify me as being one. And after that, Boykin, the Democrat, said, are you? So basically, Boykin is saying that this guy is not a real black person who's fully aware of his blackness because he supports Trump and he supports the Republican Party. Now, do you need any more evidence? Do you need any more evidence that the Democratic Party is infused with racism and bigotry and that they treat people based on the color of their skin? Just imagine for a second, just imagine the fallout that would come if a Trump supporter questioned a white Democrat on CNN and said something to the effect of, well, are you really white if you don't support Donald Trump? Say if you support Hillary Clinton? Are you really white? Are you really a white person? I think you do need me to clarify that you're a white person. Can you imagine the debacle that would come from that? Can you imagine the exploding heads that would result from a statement like that? But when it's reversed, it's perfectly acceptable. And it's extremely condescending to black people, really, to assume that every black person like, gets a Democratic registration as soon as they come out of the womb. I mean, they're individuals. They can choose what party they want to vote for. They don't have to automatically vote for the party that panders to them the most. And there are a lot of reasons for a black person to vote Republican. There are a lot of reasons for that. If you think about it, well, the economy, increased jobs. In the era of Trump, increased protectionism, more manufacturing jobs in the U.S., or at least the potential is there for that. You can have ideological reasons. You could be religious. You could be anti-abortion. You could be anti-gay marriage. And, perhaps most significantly, you could be anti-immigration. Now, who but the racial group that suffers the most unemployment in the United States, the black people, would be hurt most by increased immigration? So it makes perfect sense. Honestly, it's a wonder that more black people aren't voting for the Republicans. The messaging from the media is so intense that black people must vote Democrat. Black people are Democrats. And if you are a black Republican, you are somehow inferior. You are a race traitor. You are a bad person. And as this guy just openly said on CNN, you might not even really be black. You might not even be aware of the fact that you're black. You might not even be a real black person if you are a Trump supporter or a Republican. So this is absolutely ridiculous. And another thing, you notice that the host didn't interject. Host didn't say anything. Host didn't not say a word. Well, near the end, she said, "Oh, okay, everyone, let's calm down here." But I mean, that was more a response to the tone than the actual content. When the Democrat supporter said, Are you really a black person? Are you really aware of your blackness because you're a Trump supporter? CNN host said, basically by her not saying anything, said, okay, well, that's an acceptable thing to say on this program. Yeah, that's an acceptable thing to say on national television. Oh, yeah, you can question the racial legitimacy of a person based on their political beliefs. Yeah, you can say you're not a real black person if you vote Republican. Yeah, that's perfectly legitimate. It just goes to show CNN doesn't care. CNN doesn't care about upholding any kind of standards at all. It's become beyond obvious at this point that all they care about is hurting Trump. They know that they're going down within a very short period of time, and now they're just using all of the legitimacy they have left. They're burning it all in one last glorious anti-Trump, incredibly biased tirade. And that's how CNN is going to burn. That's how they're going to go out. They will lose all of their legitimacy by doing this type of thing, and that is a good thing. And just in summary, black people, you can be a Republican. Black people, you can be a Trump supporter. Be whatever you want to be. I mean, you're not a race traitor if you support Trump.